Fortuna is back here at Giant Stadium, where he won 2 titles. Handoff is to the up back Barber. And Marion Barber gets to the edge and has a nice gain. Another first down, 15 yards from the Cowboy running back.
Well, pretty good design right there, but Antonio Pierce is going to have a chance to make a play in the hole. You're going to see him right there, and then he leveled off. So rather than attack him downhill before Marion Barber got any kind of speed or momentum behind that run, Pierce was unable to make that play. And Marion Barber, you know, he's not an overly fast guy, but he finds a way to make plays each and every game when he's given opportunities.
On first down, Julius Jones. No gain. Jabril Wilson there to make the stop for New York. Read a quote this week as we welcome in yet another new audience. Terrell Owens saying we're playing stress-free. Everyone is running their route knowing they are a viable option. He's a team player now, and with Romo a quarterback, why not? Romo's looked his way a lot.
Yeah, by that picture, though, I don't think Tom Coughlin's coaching stress-free.
2nd and 10. Romo over the middle. Terrell Owens dropped it. 3rd and 10.
Well, Tony Romo has a shot. He goes with where the ball needs to be delivered. You know, there to Terrell Owens. Somewhat low, but a ball that Terrell Owens should be able to catch. You know, I think when you talk about as far as Terrell Owens and the team saying, hey, we're playing stress-free again. You know, I don't want to give all the credit to Tony Romo, but certainly he's responsible for a great deal of that. And I think in regards to being able to play loose, you know, nobody embodies that more than Tony Romo right now.
3rd down and 10. A blitz. Romo escapes. Fires. End zone. Out of bounds. Terrell Owens caught it but was out of bounds, and now it's 4th down. And now Martin Gramatica will make his entrance onto the field. After the Cowboys cut Mike Vanderjagt, it's going to be Gramatica after the miss by Jabril Wilson.
Yeah, Jabril Wilson, he has a clean shot at Tony Romo there. And I'll tell you what, last week's game against Tennessee, I thought it was as poor a tackling job as I've seen from the New York Giants. So far, they've already missed 2 tackles in this one.
44-yard try from the newest Cowboy. And Gramatica pushes it. New kicker, same result. Wide right.
Well, I know in talking with Tom Coughlin on Friday, he was hoping that the kicking game for the Dallas Cowboys would be a factor early in this game. Certainly everybody is aware that they let Mike Vanderjagt go this week. They brought in Martin Gramatica, who has only attempted 1 field goal in the last 2 years. And you just wonder how he was going to respond. Not a lot of leg behind that one, but even if he had enough leg, it was not going to make it.
Michael Strahan tried to go. Worked out before the game, could not answer the bell, so he's inactive, cheerleading. And Gramatica with that look on his face. Now it's Eli Manning, and now it's the running game. Tiki Barber out to the 40. Take a look at the offense for the Giants. Up front, they are playing without their starting left tackle, Luke Pettigrew. They miss him. Bob Whitfield, the 15-year veteran, is filling in. The backs and receivers, Jake Laser telling us before the game on Fox NFL Sunday, Tiki Barber is playing with a break in his right hand.
Yeah, but then he went on to say that it's healing itself.
It's amazing. 2nd and 4. Manning looking for somewhere to go, and he finds Barber. And Tiki finds a first down.
You know, Eli Manning, he was wanting to throw the ball to Jeremy Shockey. He's the tight end. And as you're going to see, Brady James is on him. It looked like Shockey just lost his footing there when he was trying to come out of the break. And so Eli got off of him immediately. and does a good job of finding Tiki Barber underneath and not trying to force a throw up the field.
Rich Seibert, an extra offensive lineman in at the end of the formation at the bottom of your screen. And off, Tiki Barber cuts up. Roy Williams ran right by him. And Tiki Barber on first down picks up 7. Second down and 3. Defensively, the Cowboys play at 3-4. The 4th rated defense in the NFL, and it's in large part due to the play of these linebackers. Their best athlete is DeMarcus Ware, and a good secondary. That's DeMarcus Ware. Troy circles. 2nd and 3. Pass complete. Shockey first down.
Tell you, a nice way to start a series here for the New York Giants and Eli Manning. He came down to Tiki Barber on the one easy throw. Tiki Barber's running the ball well right now, and then move the pocket a little bit, allow Eli Manning to get outside and get some clean looks at where he's throwing the football. He's able to put it on Jeremy Shockey. You think back last week in pregame warmups, Jeremy Shockey has a compound dislocation of his ring finger. They stitched it up. He came out, had a good game last week.
And off to Tiki Barber. A little different, Troy, as far as the start of this game compared to what Bill Parcells expected. He is expecting the Giants to take a couple of shots down the field, open it up, and then go to the ground game and try to control the football, which is what they did in that night game at Texas Stadium October 23rd.
Yeah, they understand that the Giants are a team that obviously is going to run the ball behind Tiki Barber and Brandon Jacobs. Right now, as we take a look at Jeremy Shockey, it looks like maybe that ring finger has given him some problems already early in this one.
2nd down and 9, play action. Eli Manning's going to take it right up the middle of the field and slide forward shy of first down yardage. On a quarterback scramble like that, Eli Manning sliding, and as soon as some part of his body touches the ground, that's where they mark him down. And even though he slid forward past the line, he is 2 yards shy of the first down.
Yeah, and you could tell by looking at Eli Manning that he was frustrated in that, because he knows that he could have been able to pick up that first down, but a good decision on his part. You know, nobody was under more pressure here over the last few weeks, especially this week. The way that game was lost against Tennessee, you wonder what kind of emotions he's experiencing right now.
Toss to Brandon Jacobs on 3rd down and 2. Big Brandon. First down. Banged in and went right through Al Singleton. Picked up 11 and a first down for the Giants.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really like Brandon Jacobs. He's got great speed. He's got tremendous size and power, as you're about to see. He just runs right over Brady James and Al Singleton, you know, getting over there trying to make a play against them, and starts moving the pile. I mean, this guy has gotten his opportunities. He's no longer just a short yardage goal line back like he was his rookie year last season. When he's had his chances, much like Marion Barber for the Cowboys, he's made the most of it.
Saw that rushing average, 4.8 a carry. Now Tiki. The ground game chewing up the Dallas Cowboys as Barber picks up 5. And remember, Troy, this is all coming off the miss by Martin Gramatica down at the other end. So it's another controversial pickup by the Dallas Cowboys. This time it's their kicker, Gramatica, and his miss has led to this 8-play, 48-yard drive.
Yeah, and Tom Coughlin, he talked to us this week and said, hey, when we play our best football, we play with great energy and great emotion. So far in this first quarter, both the defense and the offense have shown that.
2nd and 5. Why not stay on the ground? A toss to Tiki Barber. And he has brought down Singleton in on the stop, along with DeMarcus Ware, picked up 1. And it's 3rd down.
Sorry, Joe. The other thing that Tom Coughlin told his team this week is that we have to rally behind the quarterback. He made it very clear that in order for them to be able to achieve the things that they want to be able to achieve and win this ball game, that Eli Manning is going to have to be the guy. And this team's going to have to rally behind him and elevate their play as well.
We welcome in a new audience. 3rd down and 4 for the Giants. pressure. Runs away from Brady James and has Shockey wide open. Touchdown, New York.
Eli Manning, he's starting to look like Fran Tarkenton wearing that number 10 back there. I mean, geez, he's making people miss. He's picking up key yardage. You're going to see he's got a free blitzer right in his face, Brady James, and he's able to sidestep him, move to his left. We talk all the time about getting Jeremy Shockey involved in the game early. Well, they've done it here today.
So the Giants strike first. And Bill Parcells making the move to cut Mike Vanderjagt. Goes with Martin Gramatica. He misses a 44-yarder, and the Giants come back down the field. Eli Manning leads the drive, throws the touchdown. 7-0 New York. Weather New York area. You know, sometimes, Troy, Jeremy Shockey talks too much. He did after the Seattle game when he said the Giants were outcoached, but there aren't many tougher in this league that love to play football than Jeremy Shockey. On the return, a good return. Miles Austin gives the Cowboys down by 7. Very good field position. A return of 33 yards after the Shockey touchdown. And Michael Strahan involved in controversy this week, cheering all the way. 7-0 New York. Shockey has the first points of the day. And for Jeremy on that flip from Manning, his 6th touchdown of the season. Now with Jason Fabini coming in motion out of the fullback position. Romo's in trouble. Buys time and fires to a wide open Witten. A breakdown in coverage, and Jason Witten behind everybody. A 24-yard completion.
You know, Tony Romo back in the pocket. He's able to buy himself a little bit of time, and that's what allows Jason Witten to get turned loose. But there should have been somebody over there covering him. I mean, even if Tony Romo had come out and thrown the ball immediately to Jason Witten, there was nobody in coverage. Just a breakdown by the Giants defensively. They're fortunate it was a poor throw and that he got tackled right there at the spot.
First down, Dallas. Toss to Julius Jones. Cuts it up, tripped up. And brought down by Madison, a loss of 1. So Sam Madison is back, has been inactive for the last 5 games with a hamstring injury, and part of what they hope will be an improvement in this secondary. The defensive backs for the Giants do not have an interception since these two teams met at the end of October in Dallas.
Well, Sam Madison at least gives them a little bit of depth. Now, I would be surprised, they haven't done it yet, but I'd be surprised if Dallas does not take a shot his way here pretty soon in this first quarter to try to check out that hamstring and see if it's going to hold up. He's not been tested yet.
Romo fires high, and it's picked off by Kiwanuka. Then he loses the football, and back on top of it is Sam Hurd. On one play, each team turns it over, and Tom Coughlin is shocked.
That's the second time he's been shocked in recent weeks with something that Matthias Kiwanuka has done. He does a great job. He drops off into zone coverage and is right there to make a play on the ball, and then he just loses it.
He won't even hit. I'll say this for that catch and release and the non-sack last week. What people don't remember is the play just before that. Kiwanuka was out in coverage, covering the tight end. He's a rookie. He's played great. Tried to avoid a penalty for an excessive hit on the quarterback and let him go. Now Terrell Owens makes his grab and is out of bounds at the 30. And it appears he's got enough for a first down. He does.
I'll tell you right now, I think if I'm Tim Lewis, defensive coordinator for the Giants, I'm very concerned again with the poor tackling. Now, Sam Madison, if you're going to retreat when Terrell Owens has the ball in his hands, you have no chance to make a tackle. You got to get on him as soon as he catches it and try to stop him before he gets his momentum going forward. Terrell Owens is a much bigger individual than what Sam Madison is, but we have seen already in this game a lot of missed tackles.
And again, he's lined up across from Terrell Owens. Hand off to Julius Jones. And Jones makes the most of it. Jabril Wilson was riding him, a gain of 3.
You just think how Matthias Kiwanuka is going to feel if the Cowboys are able to then take this possession and come away with points on this drive. I mean, obviously right now they're in what you would think would be field goal range. We don't know that for sure with Martin Gramatica, but I agree with you, Joe. I mean, going back to last week's game, I feel bad for the guy. I think it's just a very tough ruling the way that they have it currently for these defensive linemen. And I think they're going to address it at the end of this season and make some changes, and that should help these defensive linemen.
2nd down and 7. Romo has to scramble. Fires for the end zone, and the pass incomplete, but Fasano, the intended receiver, a flag is down, and they are indicating it's pass interference. That'll set it up at the 1.
Yeah, I think this is just some of the poise that Tony Romo shows.
Foul occurred in the end zone. We'll place the ball at the 1-yard line. 1st down.
You know, that's what gets Antonio Pierce there. I don't know by reaching his right arm out and grabbing Fasano that it helped him any. I certainly didn't hold Fasano back from being able to make a play, but when you start grabbing people like that and extending your arm, it makes it an easy call for an official.
26-yard penalty, 1st and goal from the 1, and their touchdown machine Barber pounds it in. Touchdown Dallas. So Kiwanuka had the interception, lost the handle on the football. The look by Tom Coughlin on the sideline, and with the extra point coming, a chance for the Cowboys to tie it. 5th touchdown in the last 3 games, and for Barber his 10th, leading the NFC.
Well, it's disappointing for this Giants defense to be able to create the turnover and then not be able to take advantage of it, giving the ball to your offense with good field position.
The 26-yard penalty factored in on the pass interference called against Pierce. Here's the fumble after the interception by Kiwanuka, the rookie. What did that lead to? Marion Barber pushing it in for the Cowboys, who have tied it at 7.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. Holiday greetings from Budweiser.
7-7 game now as Marion Barber gets his 10th touchdown of the season. Just a 3-play drive after the Kiwanuka fumble, after his interception, and now Martin Gramatica will kick it away. Rather short kick, and Derek Ward on the return for the Giants. Good return for the Giants out across the 30, a 17-yard return. When we return, New York will have the football. Back to work, Eli. Tie game. Eli Manning on the opening drive was 3 for 3, 28-yard touchdown. On the throw to Jeremy Shockey, the Giants put together 7 runs for 38 yards. It's now a 7-7 game, and starting at their own 32 is this Giant offense. Play action from Manning, and that's out of the reach of Jim Finn, the fullback.
You know, DeMarcus Ware has turned himself into a heck of a football player here in just his 2nd season. And Bob Whitfield, who's taken the place of Luke Pettigrew, is going to have his hands full all day. They're going to work the line to his side. That time, David Deal, 66, worked to his side to help out with DeMarcus Ware. But in the first meeting, DeMarcus Ware against Luke Pettigrew really kind of had his way with him, primarily because of his speed. It will be interesting to follow that matchup and whether DeMarcus Ware will have an impact in this one.
That's Rich Seibert, the old Giants false start at home.
False start, 69, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
We've seen this, Troy, a couple of times already in this game with the 2 possessions. Seibert, an extra offensive lineman coming in to line up outside the tackle. And here he's yanked off the field after a false start. Luke Pettigrew, they miss him. A broken leg, and I'll tell you what, they really miss the other guy pictured in the park, Monty Toomer.
Yeah, he's probably, they miss him more that he's gone than what they appreciated him when he was here. You know, he was the guy who Eli Manning could certainly depend on in most situations.
Second down and 15, and Manning just gets rid of it. There was nothing there. Tiki Barber, the intended receiver, and a lot of pressure from Kenyon Coleman. Third down and 15. This Giants team, Troy, started 1-2. They went 5-0, and now they've lost their last 3. And during that time, Manning's completion percentage is just over 50. He's thrown 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and people look at his body language and the way he carries himself on the field and scratch their head about it.
Yeah, well, it's all about winning and losing. When you're winning, the way he conducts himself, it's called composure and poise. And when you're losing, then all of a sudden it's viewed that you lack fire. I mean, regardless of whatever your demeanor is, if you're losing, it's not going to be acceptable.
4-man rush for the Cowboys, and the pass bangs off the chest of Jeremy Shockey. He was short of first down yardage anyway, but that one through his hands, off his pads, and down to the turf.
Yeah, that was just the ball that got through his hands, as you said, Joe, and then got on him pretty quickly and off the shoulder pads. But you know, that is something that Jeremy Shockey has had problems with at times, is catching the ball. That was an easy one for him. But as you mentioned, even if he makes the play, he's probably not able to pick up the first down.
300th career game in succession, by the way, for Fiegels, who hits a beauty. Terrence Newman is led right out of bounds. That's the advantage of having somebody like Fiegels. Directional kicker, 47-yard punt, no return. Dallas has it. Shockey says, my fault. The score 7-7. Because the Giants have already defeated Dallas on October 23rd, a win today, they have the same record of 7-5, the Giants would have, and they would be in front of Dallas because of the head-to-head competition. If the Cowboys lose today, they're 1-4 in the NFC East and 4-4 in conference play, starting at their own 26. Play action, Romo fires, and even with a lot of contact out there, Terry Glenn overthrown, and Romo is wondering why there was no flag. How about the day for Rex Grossman? 6 of 19, 34 yards in a victory that was helped along by Ricky Manning Jr. with an interception return for a touchdown, a 45-yard punt return for a touchdown by Devin Hester. And then there's Grossman, who turns in that against the 31st ranked pass defense, the Vikings.
I still maintain that the Bears are a very good football team, but they're not going to go very far in the playoffs if they don't get more consistent play out of Rex.
They had a total of 6 first downs. Romo fires, and out of the reach of everybody. Kevin Dockery was the closest one to it. It's 3rd and 10.
Well, this defense right now for the Giants, they're really doing a good job as far as mixing up some coverages, trying to give Tony Romo some various looks to try to confuse him. You know, Tony Romo has been on a real hot streak here over the last 3 to 4 ball games, especially last week on Thanksgiving Day, the 5 touchdown throws he had against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think one of the things you try to do then for a young quarterback, even though this is his 4th season, is mix it up enough so that he can't see pre-snap exactly what he's going to get.
3rd down and 10. Romo rolls out and flips for Owens. Terrell Owens makes the grab for a Dallas first down. 20-yard completion, and Terrell Owens comes back to the huddle smiling after he has his best catch of the day.
Yeah, and this is probably the type of play that we've seen most of from Tony Romo, with him rolling out and then being able to throw as accurately as he is on the run. You see, he dropped it right in between 2 defenders. I mean, it took a pretty good throw there in order for that ball to be completed. Will Dempsey in coverage. But that's demoralizing when you get a team backed up into 3rd and long, and then they convert that for a first down.
Hand off to Julius Jones. Pierce was there for the Giants, a gain of 1, and that will do it for the first quarter here at Giant Stadium. A 7-7 score in this battle for the top spot in the NFC East. Glad you're with us. The NFL on Fox will continue after this. Kevin Gilbride and Eli Manning talking about this Dallas defense and the start. 1 quarter in the books. Shockey with a touchdown and a drop. 2nd down and 9 Dallas. Play action. Romo fires too high and it's picked off by Demps. Terrell Owens the intended receiver and Romo had one take off on him.
As you're going to see, we've not seen some of these throws in the past from Tony Romo. It's off play action. He gets pressure immediately, has to throw the ball a little bit earlier than what he wanted. He still had a shot at Terrell Owens. He just threw a high ball. And when you got that type of coverage, high throws over receivers' heads generally result in interceptions.
The crowd below us gets on Romo as he comes back to the sideline and talks to Parcells. Tony Romo had come in with only 1 interception in his last 146 pass attempts. He's thrown one to Kiwanuka. And now this one to Will Demps. Tiki Barber picks up 2. So now, we talked about it earlier, there's the first interception by a defensive back for this Dallas team, or rather the Giants team, since October 23rd. And overall, 12 on the year for New York.
Well, and going against Dallas, and like we have talked about, I mean, those are the kinds of things and the kinds of plays that need to be made, you know, by your defensive unit in order to help your offense and help take some of the pressure off of them and give them good field position.
2nd and 8. Tiki Barber nowhere to go. This 3-4 defense of the Cowboys tough to run against as Plexico Burress gets into it with Davis and Roy Williams down the field. This run defense for Dallas, 4th best in the NFL, allowing only 87.1 yards per game.
Well, they're very good against the run, and then you look at what Tiki Barber's been able to do on the season. He's running the ball extremely well. He's averaging 4 yards per carry, already over 1,000 yards. However, the last 2 ball games against Jacksonville and then last week against Tennessee, he has not run the ball very effectively like he had been prior to those 2 games.
3rd down and 8. Manning out of the shotgun, hits Shockey wide open, 1st down. And then Shockey makes his best move on the sideline. There was nobody from the Cowboys willing to stop Shockey on his way toward the bench, and here is McKenzie doing the job on DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, this time they moved DeMarcus Ware over to the defensive left side to work against McKenzie, and Jeremy Shockey, good move there on Roy Williams. And you know, at Friday's practice, Jeremy Shockey caught just about every ball that was thrown. Now, in practice, you always design the cards, and so you throw it to the guy you want to throw it to. But I thought coming out of that practice, wow, if the defense plays anything like what the Giants showed in practice, Shockey's going to have himself a good day.
Tiki Barber tries the right side, and Tiki is brought down after a gain of 1. Well, I don't think there's any doubt. We talked about this guy before, Troy. He gets this offense going, and if there's anybody whose hands you want to get it in early to give this offense some life, it's Shockey.
Well, and in addition to that, a couple of weeks ago, he said if we play the kind of football that we're capable of playing, the Dallas Cowboys or anyone else cannot beat us. And I think that's the right thing to say. Every player should feel that way. However, Bill Parcells tried to use that during the week for motivation. Yet Jeremy Shockey backing up the remarks, and he is playing very, very well right now.
2nd down and 9 for the Giants in a tie game. Play action from Manning, in trouble off his back foot and out of the reach of Tim Carter. Could not set up with pressure in his face. It's 3rd down.
You know, Eli Manning, you're right. He got pressure in his face and just tried to unload it. You know, sometimes you got to be careful. You know, he was able to at least get it outside on the sideline enough to where there was no danger of it being intercepted. But we have seen from him in previous games throwing a ball up like that only to have it intercepted. Right now, I like what Eli Manning is showing. He's showing tremendous poise in the pocket, and he's delivering some good balls.
Here's a situation where he misses Amani Toomer. Blitz from the Cowboys. Quick throw, Burress. can't make the play, and a penalty flag comes in. And Anthony Henry is shocked. And it's against Dallas.
Well, Anthony Henry, he matches up very well against Plexico Burress.
Pass interference, 42, defense. Ball will be placed in the spot of the foul, first down.
You know, I don't see it. You know, Plexico Burress had to do what he did in order to try to come back and make a play on the ball. Anthony Henry really was just in perfect position. I didn't think that he did anything to initiate the contact. That was initiated more by Plexico Burress. But to go back to what I was saying, these two played against each other when Henry played for the Browns and Burress for the Steelers. They know each other very well. And Anthony Henry over the years has played Burress exceptionally well.
For Anthony Henry, his 5th pass interference call of the season. Tiki Barber tries the left side, and the flag comes in late here.
I think they were going to call Plexico Burress on that one, Joe, with a late hit.
Well, he called out Roy Williams, and Williams was involved.
There he is right there in your screen.
Let's see what he does to Davis. We'll get the call from Walt Coleman.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 17, offense. 15-yard penalty, second down.
We have said it before, Troy, and I'll say it again, and Tom Coughlin doesn't like hearing it, but for a head coach who took over preaching team discipline, this is not a disciplined team at all.
Well, not when you have penalties like that. Now, I don't know when the whistle blew. Now, certainly there are rules in place, and that's why he was called. And so he comes over and takes a shot at Keith Davis, and then he draws the flag. Now, I will also say that a week ago, he was criticized for quitting on a play, said it didn't look like he was giving great hustle, and now he is trying to give hustle, and he takes a shot at a player. Now, whether or not the whistle had blown, I think that's the question, but yet he should know that you can't take a player out when he's not involved in the play.
Second down and 25. Manning goes underneath and hits backup tight end Vicente Schenko. A gain of 7. Tonight, we will see if it is Michigan or Florida getting the chance to play Ohio State for the national championship after USC's upset loss last night to UCLA. It's a live primetime special that you can only see on Fox. The All-State BCS selection show follows our football coverage tonight on Fox. Your Bruins threw a wrench into the entire process.
Thank you. You know, everybody's worried about who's going to get to play Ohio State in the championship game. How about a little love for the Bruins, you know, making that even a topic of conversation.
Third down and 18 here, and a handoff to Brandon Jacobs. The crowd groans as he gets it down inside the 40 near the 38. And the punt unit is on the field for the Giants, a run of 10 yards from Jacobs.
Well, the unfortunate thing for the Giants is that they had a great drive going. They had momentum behind them, and then because, again, of the penalty by Plexico Burress, that drive is stalled, and they're having to punt the ball back to the Cowboys. We don't know exactly what would have happened on that possession without the penalty. My guess is that they would have at least gotten themselves into position to attempt a field goal and come away potentially with some points.
Eagles hit a beauty his first time. This one he tries to down inside the 20, and good work downfield by Tyree. A 34-yard punt, no return. Fiegels does his job again. A big penalty against Burress on the possession for the Giants. It stalls, and we're still tied.
Sponsored by Citizen Watch, by MasterCard, by Microsoft, software for the people-ready business, and by Chevrolet, America's brand, Chevy, an American revolution.
Tony Romo had thrown 1 interception his previous 146 passes. He has 2 in this first half. Starting from their own 4. Quick setup and throw. Terrell Owens out in space, and a good tackle by McQuarters. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Yeah, Joe, you talk about the story of two quarterbacks. Tony Romo seems to have the world by the tail, while at times Eli Manning has Giants fans wondering what in the world. Romo with that 4-1 record heading into this ball game is a picture of poise and confidence. Meantime, Eli Manning, as his coach would admit, came into this game with his confidence a little bit shaky, to the point to where Tom Coughlin has to make a few adjustments as far as the game planning go. Confidence from one guy, a little shaky confidence from the other. Joe?
Thank you. Those were headlines ripped from the papers the last few weeks. It's 2nd and 8 as this crowd gets into it. Barber carries it. He crosses the 10, knocked down at the 11, a gain of 5, 3rd and short coming up. Fred Robbins on the tackle for the Giants.
You know, in talking with Tom Coughlin about Eli and some of the struggles that he's been through here over the last few ball games, I know Eli Manning won't admit that he's in a slump, but whatever you want to call it, he's not played particularly well. But what Tom Coughlin has said is that during practice, he has thrown the ball very effectively. He's looked sharp. He's put the ball where it needs to be. But he's got to do it in the games before you can really start to recapture the confidence that he has lost.
3rd down and 3. Romo looking for somewhere to go. Throws and has Glenn wide open. 1st down, Dallas. Terry Glenn with a catch out across the 35. They'll mark him at the 37. A 27-yard completion from Romo.
Well, here's Terry Glenn, and what you're going to see is, again, because Tony Romo is able to buy some time, all of a sudden he's one-on-one on a safety, Jabril Wilson. Wilson thought he was going to go deep. Terry Glenn takes it on a square in, and there was just nobody else underneath in coverage. The very easy completion for Tony Romo. When he's able to buy time, it puts tremendous pressure on these secondary defenders.
Movement by the Cowboys. Colombo was one of them. A couple of guys moved. That should cost Dallas 5 yards.
Ball start, 63. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
They get Kozar. Colombo, the right tackle, also moved.
You know, since Michael Strahan went down, he's missed, this being his 4th game that he's missed. They've only had 3 sacks. Now, it's not because Michael Strahan was accumulating so many sacks. He only has 3 on the year. But he certainly helps free up other guys. They're going to have to find a way to get more pressure on Tony Romo and not allow him to buy time to take the pressure on the back end off this secondary.
A blitz from the Giants, and Barber on 1st and 15 takes it out to the 40, picked up 7.
You know, Marion Barber, talked about him a little bit earlier. You know, he does everything exceptionally well. As I said, he's not overly fast. In fact, Bill Parcells said we've got to knock the defenders down twice in order for him to be able to pick up any type of yardage, because he's just not that fast. But he really likes him, and I think he's a heck of a player. And last week in the game against Tampa on Thanksgiving, it was the first time this season that he got more carries than Julius Jones. His numbers show that he's been by far a more productive back when he's been in the game.
2nd and 8. Romo hits Hoyt, his fullback. A gain of 6. Antonio Pierce on the stop, and here's a guy, Oliver Hoyt, who was a free agent addition to this team, undrafted. Played on a defense at NC State with Mario Williams, Manny Lawson, John McCargo, all 1st-round picks. And Hoyt, the fullback, was the 2nd leading tackler last year and led the team his junior year, and now he's a fullback.
And you got to give credit to this Cowboys coaching staff for recognizing that Hoyt was not going to make it on this team as a linebacker, but seeing something in him that allowed him to be able to make the transition successfully to the fullback position. He played fullback in high school.
3rd down and 2. Romo in trouble, hits, loses it. Ball is free, and now the fight for the football. If it stays with Dallas, and it will, it is 4th down, and the Giants defense holds. Kiwanuka's the one that knocked it out.
Yeah, and that's the pressure they needed. Kiwanuka, once he realized he was at quarterback level, he came back off of it, was able to put the hit on Romo. Fortunately for the Cowboys, they were able to recover it. Otherwise, you're giving the ball to the New York Giants in great field position. At least now they're able to punt it and pin the Giants back.
That is only the 9th fumble all year by the Cowboys, still the fewest in the NFL. McBriar hits a good one. And the fair catch is called for by Chad Morton, and then Morton gets drilled. Miles Austin, a rookie downfield after the fair catch, hits Chad Morton.
Yeah, he gave the fair catch signal, and so he's no longer free game. And here he came in late. Easy call.
Personal foul on the kicking team. Hit the maker of a fair catch signal. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. First down.
So that takes the ball from inside the 15 out near the 30. The 15-yard penalty on Austin. Giants have it. 7-7 game.
When the lights go off, it's on. Night at the museum.
Gotcha, boy.
Rated PG, December 22nd.
At our recent offsite.
Jeff Rice is the umpire in the middle of all the action, and I'll say he was in the middle of it on that punt. He got hit, and hit hard, by R.W. McQuarters. But pops right up, goes back to work, and with about 5.5 to go in the half, here are the Giants needing a win in a tie game starting at their own 29. Manning to the right side, and the catch by Carter. They are going to mark Carter ahead with a first down. That was good for 10.5.
You know, Rich Seibert here comes in again. The offensive lineman had tied in. Look what they do to Marcus Spears. Him and Kareem McKenzie. Heck, they got 3 guys over there. They just put him on his rump over there on that side, and it allowed Eli Manning to at least be able to see where he was going with the ball to Tim Carter. This offensive line plays very well together. They do a great job in the run game, and overall they've done a pretty good job protecting for Eli Manning as well. It helps when you've got another offensive lineman in there playing tight end for you.
Hand off to Tiki Barber. And Barber over the right side picks up 2. I said earlier that this Giants team has lacked discipline at times, and I also said that it bothers Tom Coughlin when that is said, but whether it's a penalty in this game on Plexico Burress or an unnecessary roughness on Frank Walker last week at Tennessee on a 4th down hit against the quarterback Vince Young, or the stuff that goes on after games off the field into microphones, so much points toward this game with the Giants trying to get it all back together and beat this Dallas team to go to the top spot in the NFC East. Tiki Barber on 2nd down picks up 5. And here's the Kiwanuka play. Getting the interception, then fumbling it, and then that hit by Plexico Burress, who, as you said, Troy, has been criticized for not giving total effort, doing way too much, and getting the 15-yard foul.
Yeah, and then with Kiwanuka, I asked a number of the players, you know, gosh, you feel bad for the guy the way it happened last week, and they said they gave him a really hard time in the locker room. Teased him about it, kind of helped break the ice a little bit.
Direct snap to Tiki Barber. That worked. First down and more inside the 35. Good play by the Giants to pick up 19 yards.
And we saw him working on this play on Fridays in practice, and he just pulls over here and he intercepts the snap. And then they got all the linemen out there pulling in front of him. Chris Snead, Kareem McKenzie. We got Tim Carter down there trying to help out as well. You know, it's a lot like a screenplay without having to actually throw the ball.
Brandon Jacobs in at tailback. On first down the middle of the field, and incomplete. Tim Carter, the intended receiver. Covered by Anthony Henry, and Eli Manning says, my fault, and hangs his head. 2nd and 10. Next week on Fox, we will be in Carolina for these Giants against the Carolina Panthers, or the Eagles and Redskins, Falcons and Buccaneers. Packers and 49ers late. Seahawks and Cardinals. That starts with America's most watched pregame show on America's most watched network for the NFL at 12 Eastern, 11 Central. 2nd and 10. Tiki Barber. Nowhere to go. No gain. 3rd down and 10 for the Giants, and some early game headliners. Trent Green, 297 yards, trying to get his feet back underneath him after the long layoff. And LaDainian Tomlinson.
I think he got his feet underneath him.
I'll say 4 touchdowns and an interception, and then LaDainian Tomlinson doing his thing, and Reggie Bush had his best day. How about 4 total touchdowns?
You know, we talk about LaDainian Tomlinson. I mean, he does this kind of stuff each and every week. But for Reggie Bush, he's been waiting for a breakout game like what he had today.
Pointed Shockey. So make it 3rd and 15.
False start. 80. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
You know, I think right now, looking at this, if you get a chance to pick up the 1st down, as we see Jeremy Shockey there on the end as he moved, if you can pick up the 1st down, that's great. But right now for Eli Manning, you can get yardage without picking up the 1st down that at least gives your team a chance to try to kick a field goal on this possession.
From this spot, it would be a 56-yard try, probably out of the range of Jay Feely. With up to the 2nd stats. The main stats in this game, 7 and 7. That's the score. And with 2 minutes to go, 3rd down and 15 for the Giants, and they are outside Jay Feely field goal range at the moment. And even more so now as David Deal moved too soon.
False start. 66. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That's 3 of them here at home in this half alone, and these are killers while they're in a tie game and moving out of field goal range.
Oh, and I'm not sure exactly why they're having so many problems here tonight. You know, Deal moves immediately. You know, sometimes a defensive player will yell and try to mimic the cadence. I don't know if anything like that's going on, but it's hurting this team.
3rd down and 20. Manning spins out of there, trying to buy some yardage, fires and completes it to Tyree. It is a catch. It's about a yard short of 1st down yardage, and it's 4th down.
Tell you, another good job by Eli Manning just avoiding the sack, and you're right, that's a catch. You know, low and away, that was a good ball placement as well on the throw by Manning, and a good catch by David Tyree. You know, I agree. It looks like they may measure this, but they're short of the 1st down, and now there's a decision. Do you go ahead and just settle for the points going in at halftime, or do you try to possibly get a touchdown on this drive? Again, right there, a great spin move by Eli Manning. He really is showing some elusiveness in the pocket, but what I like most, you can see pretty good coverage there by Terrence Newman, and that's where the ball had to be, a low and away, in order for Tyree to make the play.
That far short of a 1st down.
And I'll tell you what, the way Brandon Jacobs has run the ball, I think that with this team, it looks like they're going to go for it, and I like this decision. You know, you've had your backs against the wall for the last 3 weeks. You're playing at home. Granted, if they don't come away with points here, this will be disappointing, but I like the decision here by Tom Coughlin.
Eli Manning showing some life and begging his head coach Tom Coughlin to make this decision, which is to go for it on 4th and 1.
Eli keeps acting like that. He's going to get a bad rap.
The fiery young quarterback. 4th down, Giants.
And Rich Seibert, the guard, is in here at tight end.
Jacobs gets it. Cannot make the play. DeMarcus Ware. So the Giants skip the field goal try, go for it on 4th and 1 and lose 2 as DeMarcus Ware comes through the block of Whitfield and drops Brandon Jacobs. Parcells cheering in a 7-7 game. Brandon Jacobs tried to take it wide, and the big-bodied back was brought down by DeMarcus Ware. A loss of 2 on 4th down, and it stays 7-7.
Yeah, good job there by Dallas defensively, clogging up the hole and then not allowing Jacobs to get to the outside for the first down.
Now it's Tony Romo handing off to Barber, and Marion Barber runs into Antonio Pierce, a gain of 6. Each side has all 3 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, and right now the Giants defensively need to find a way to come up with a stop, because the last thing they want to have happen is lose momentum going in at halftime by giving points up to Dallas.
4-man rush, and that pass is caught by Terry Glenn. Hit immediately afterward by Dockery, and a timeout taken by the Cowboys, a 10-yard completion. 2-minute offense being run by Tony Romo after the Dallas defense holds on 4th down. Have the top record in the NFC at 10-2. Then you've got New Orleans at 8-4. Seattle with a chance tonight to go to 8-4 as they play at Denver in Jay Cutler's debut. The Cowboys at 7-4. A game better than the Giants. 45 seconds left in the half. First down, Dallas. Troy circles Matthias Kiwanuka, and this pass is caught by Terrell Owens. Doing all he can in the open field, and a penalty flag comes in. Out of the secondary, the penalty flag flies, and after a 9-yard completion, the Giants indicating it's pass interference against Owens.
Well, it's actually going to be against Terry Glenn, I think, Joe.
Illegal block in the back. 83. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
So it was
still first down.
During that run by Terrell Owens, and it's Glenn drilling Will Demps in the back.
And a good call. And again, I mean, a lot of penalties now for both teams that have really affected field position and opportunities for points. Terrell Owens gets the ball in his hands. He runs around. He's trying to get as many yards as he can. And then Terry Glenn with the block in the back. And what was a pretty good gain now all of a sudden sets him back.
There are the penalties in this game, and within those 5 for the Giants, 3 false starts here at home. 36 seconds left, and Dallas with 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, I think right now the Giants, they've got to be careful about a deep throw down the middle. Right now with the coverage they're showing, the middle of the field here is where the weakness is.
On 1st and 11, Romo has all day and finds Witten, his tight end, who hops out of bounds at midfield. A gain of 8. 29 seconds left. Now realize that the Cowboys are running this 2-minute offense, not knowing what to expect from Martin Gramatica, their first week kicker, who didn't kick all of last year and missed badly. Didn't look good on a 44-yard try at the other end of the field.
Well, they don't know what to expect, and because of limited time having worked with him this week, I don't even know that they know for sure just how close they've got to get for him to get in his range.
2nd and 3. Handoff is to Barber, and Barber was knocked down by Robbins. He got his right arm on him and knocked him down. A gain of 2. And Barber was about a yard shy of a first down. Here's the play by Fred Robbins in the middle of the action.
Yeah, Fred Robbins really having a career year this season. And he has been one of the guys defensively who has shown up each week. A good play there working against Andre Girard, the center. He gets just enough there of Barber to redirect him and then allow a little help from Jabril Wilson to come in and be able to make the play.
22 seconds left and 1 timeout on the scoreboard for Dallas.
Well, Fred Robbins, I've always liked him as a player. He's a very athletic guy. And I think there was questions coming in as to how well this defensive line was going to be able to play against the run. And yet that's been one of the real strengths of this defense, and a big part of it has been the play of Fred Robbins there in the middle.
3rd and 1 for Dallas. So they have to think first down first. Only a 3-man defensive line, and Barber hits the hole hard. Big run, Marion Barber. Down inside the 25. And Dallas will spend their final timeout after a 24-yard run by Barber.
It's just got to be so disappointing for this Giant team defensively. We saw it against Chicago in a situation not a lot unlike this. They handed off just hoping to pick up a first down. And not only do they pick up the first down, but then they run themselves right down the field and put themselves immediately in a position to kick a field goal.
So Dallas spends the timeout. Let's talk about the kicking situation. Vanderjagt, who signed a 3-year, $5.5 million deal with $2.5 million given to him as a bonus, had a groin injury in preseason, got off on the wrong foot with Bill Parcells, missed 5 field goals this year. He had missed 7 in his last 3 years combined, and Bill Parcells and Jerry Jones finally determined that they had seen enough. So they signed Martin Gramatica, who was with the Patriots during the summer. Belichick and Pioli both liked him. Gramatica, who did not kick last year, was a 60% field goal kicker in his final 2 years with the Buccaneers, is now wearing the star on his helmet and getting loose.
Well, I think what you're going to see here is Dallas try to get one shot into the end zone before having to settle for the field goal attempt.
Kiwanuka got a good jump on the snap. Romo with all day, and now throws it away. And with 6 seconds left, we'll see if the Cowboys, and they will, bring on their field goal unit.
Well, and here Tony Romo almost made the major sin as far as quarterbacks go, taking a sack in that situation. Fortunately for him, he was able to get it out of his hands just in time. But if he takes the sack there, more than likely they would have then been outside Martin Gramatica's range.
The 5th kicker for Bill Parcells since he's been with the Cowboys. He's in his 4th year, and Gramatica drills it. 41-yard field goal by Martin Gramatica, and with 1 second left in the half, Bill Parcells, I guess he's excited, is cheering the field goal.
Well, he's actually going after Romo here. I don't think Romo necessarily had a shot down the field. You know, here's the hold and the kick. It's Tony Romo. He also is the holder. A well-placed ball, you know, there for Martin Gramatica. But I think what Parcells was talking, there's things that Tony Romo does that does drive Bill Parcells a little batty at times, and he admits to that. And I think it was the fact that Tony Romo almost got sacked, knowing that that would have kept them from being able to get points on that drive.
Romo coming back down to earth a little bit in this first half. However, his Cowboys on the road, Gramatica 1 for 2 in this game, now have a 3-point lead with 1 second left.
Well, and what a change there. And I agree with the call that Tom Coughlin going for it there on 4th down. They didn't execute very well, and they didn't pick it up. But by not picking it up, that's the risk then you take in giving up good field position to the Cowboys. They then go down the field. They get a field goal of their own. And now they go in with a 3-point lead and momentum.
Yeah, you give up the field goal try, a chance for the lead, and a lot of momentum, and the Cowboys took advantage of it as Gramatica will squib it. And that'll do it for the first half here at Giant Stadium. Ray Rugemer wanted no part of a kick return on that last chance. Cowboys 10, Giants 7, the end of the first half. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime show right after this.
Next week on Fox NFL Sunday. The Guy is sponsored by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Life takes Visa.
Outside the stadium here at the Meadowlands, it's the Visa Halftime Report. Kurt Menefee, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy. And right now, the Cowboys and Giants looking like two teams playing for first place in the East.
All right, tight end. Defensive end Michael Strahan missing this football game. Watch this new kicker for the Cowboys, Martin Gramatica. 44-yard field goal attempt, wide right. Bill's got to be going nuts. I still don't have a kicker. Eli Manning under duress, out of the pocket, into the corner of the end zone. Jeremy Shockey, outstanding tight end, 7-0 Giants. And then Marion Barber coming back out of the eye, takes it down inside 1-yard touchdown run. Dallas then ties the ball game up. Then Gramatica nails a 41-yard field goal. Cowboys at halftime, 10-7 over the Giants. Hines Ward on your right, out of this game against Tampa Bay, injured knee. He's out. Watch his Roethlisberger play action wide open. Jermaine Tubman touchdown. It is 10-0 Steelers over the visiting Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Elsewhere, the Jaguars go into Miami, and they lead that one by 10 in the third quarter. Howie's Raiders with a touchdown lead over the Texans at halftime.
That's right.
Finals, the Chicago Bears clinched the NFC North with a 10-point win over Minnesota. The Jets are now 7-5 and don't face a 500 team the rest of the way after blowing out the Packers. New England gets a late touchdown from Corey Dillon to beat the Lions. New Orleans gets 4 TDs from Reggie Bush and easily knock off the 49ers. Atlanta ends its 4-game losing streak, knocking off the Redskins. Arizona goes into St. Louis, gets 100 yards from Edgerrin James for the first time this year, and they have now won 2 of 3. Rob Baronis, a 60-yard field goal in the closing seconds, and the Tennessee Titans upset the Colts. The San Diego Chargers keep on rolling. LT, 2 more touchdowns. He's got 26 on the year. And a Phil Dawson field goal in overtime from 33 yards out gives the Browns the victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, Giants and Cowboys. And Jimmy, I guess with all the turmoil around the Giants, we shouldn't be surprised how hard they're playing today.
Yeah, you knew the Giants were going to give a tremendous effort in this ball game, fighting for first place, a lot of passion. And Howie, a lot of that passion shows up on the pass rush. They're putting pressure on Tony Romo, got a couple of interceptions, had 1 fumble, but the Cowboys luckily recovered it. That pressure of the pass rush on the Giants. I mean,
well, and as Troy mentioned, Tony Romo, the things that make you happy about him, the things that drive you crazy. I mean, he held the ball a little too long at the end of the first half, almost took the sack, cost them a field goal. That's a possibility. I like Marion Barber. You know, I know Jones has the burst. I like Marion Barber. Both running games are working well right now. Jacobs is running downhill. Tiki Barber's running well.
All right, keep in mind that when we're done with NFL action tonight, it's college football. The BCS Selection Show will tell you which 2 teams will play for the national title. We know one, Ohio State. Who's the competition? Find out then.
Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL.
Maybe you can give them a hand. Help the NFL and United Way strengthen your community. Volunteer at unitedway.org.
This is Fox 31 News. Clear, credible, complete.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Deborah Takahara.
And I'm Jeremy Hubbard. This is a Fox 31 News halftime report. Here's what we're working on today.
A worker out at Denver International Airport is seriously injured when a Frontier plane rolls over his leg. An airport official says the Frontier flight from Dallas was taxiing into the gate earlier today. A ramp worker was trying to place a rubber stopper under the plane's tires, but the plane did not stop and rolled right over his leg. That worker is in the hospital tonight.
A Berthoud business goes boom. The explosion happened at Rainbow Auto Sales earlier today. Witnesses say they saw the business's roof fly 100 feet into the air, and the explosion shook the ground. The dealership was closed at the time, and no one was hurt. Investigators aren't sure what caused the explosion, but they say a gas line runs under the building.
And a fire at a Denver apartment complex turns deadly. A woman in her 60s was burned over 60% of her body last night. She died at the hospital a short time later. It happened at the Windsor Gardens Apartments on South Clinton. Fire investigators found an ashtray on her nightstand, and they're trying to figure out if she might have been smoking in bed.
Well, near record-setting cold last night in Denver, but a nice warm-up today.
Fox 31's Chris Dunn is here now to look at today's forecast. Chris.
Yeah, morning lows, a couple of records in Pueblo and Colorado Springs, 2 degrees below zero, 1 below zero at Denver, but mid-afternoon temperatures jumping up into the low 30s around the metro area. Still 20 in Colorado Springs, teens and 20s for the high country. Broncos game tonight out in Invesco Field, a mile high, 23 degrees at kickoff, which happens at 6:15, although during the game game, temperatures falling through the teens. I'll let you know what to expect for the upcoming week coming up tonight on Fox 31 News at 9 o'clock. Back to you guys.
All right. Fox 31's Chris Dunn. Thanks so much.
And now we'll send you back to the football game.
And you can always watch tonight at 9 o'clock for more news, weather, and sports, and continuous updates on myfoxcolorado.com.
Little DMX for you under a full moon and our FoxSports.com fantasy update. The numbers for Eli Manning, Marion Barber, and Jeremy Shockey as we get ready to start this second half here at Giant Stadium. Now, New York will start this half with the football. And Eli Manning is getting ready to go. So far for Tiki Barber, 7 carries. He has been held for the most part in check, and maybe the biggest play of that first half, Troy, is you look at that 4th down, 4th and 1, and the play made by DeMarcus Ware on the carry by Brandon Jacobs. This is Ward on the return. And Ward carries it for 21 yards. The Giants will start at their own 25. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Yeah, Joe, I spoke to both coaches at halftime. First, Tom Coughlin, the main thing he stressed is we have got to get better containment on Tony Romo. He says we can do much better than that. As far as his offense was concerned, he said, well, all we can do is continue to play hard. Bill Parcells also spoke of containment, where his defense is concerned with Eli Manning. As for his own quarterback, Tony Romo, he says he is rushing, he is pushing too much. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Pam. Here we go. First play of the second half from scrimmage. And it's Tiki Barber. Barber picks up 3. Will Troy Aikman? Eli Manning has the opportunity here in this second half to shut a lot of people up. He's got this game sitting out there in front of him, down by 3 points.
Yeah, and I think he's done a real good job, Joe. I mean, coming into this game, I know as a quarterback what it's like when you've been struggling and now all of a sudden you find yourself in a big divisional matchup and the pressure that's involved in that, and yet he's held up very well. I think that Parcells was exactly right, that Eli Manning has found a way to get outside the pocket. He's created some plays. The numbers don't just blow you away, but I think he's been very, very effective in how he's led this team in the first half.
On second down, Manning throws low. Jim Finn, his fullback, was in the pass route, and Manning couldn't get it into his hands. That'll bring up 3rd down.
You know, and I think that is the one throw that Eli Manning seems to have problems with whenever he's throwing the ball on a 4 or 5 yard route. You know, this is not an easy throw. I think sometimes people see the length of the throw and they don't think it's that difficult, but it is hard when you've got a receiver running away from you in the flat. But a throw that Eli Manning, you know, would expect to be able to complete, and the difference in completing that is that this would now be 3rd and 2 as opposed to 3rd and 7.
Keep an eye on 83, Sonoris Moss. That's him in motion. Pass to Burris, needs to make a move and cannot get around the tackler. Good try by Plexico Burris, but an even better tackle by Aaron Glenn to save a first down, a gain of 5, and Plexico Burris just made his first catch of the game.
Well, and on the catch, I mean, initially you'd think that Plexico Burris would be able to make Aaron Glenn miss, and if he's able to there, then he picks up the first down. It was well designed, get the ball into his hands, but a good job in the open field by Aaron Glenn, who's the Cowboys' 3rd corner, of making the tackle.
13-year player as Glenn wants to play 20 years. And this is a shank. Off the foot of Fiegels, and where will they mark it? Fiegels has hit 2 good punts. This one off the side of his foot, and they will mark it right at midfield. A 16-yard punt. Cowboys great field position, up by 3.
Fox NFL Sunday is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. By Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world. By Best Buy, wrap up the wow this holiday season only at Best Buy. And by Diet Pepsi, live NFL, drink Diet Pepsi.
There's Sean Landeta, who won 2 rings with the Giants in '86 and '90. 44 years old, signed yesterday. Feagles is bothered by a bad right knee, but able to go. 300th consecutive start for Feagles. Just hit a 16-yard punt. So the Cowboys have it at midfield. Romo throws behind Creighton. The second half is where Tony Romo has shined. Last 3 games, he is 29 for 31. 409 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that quarterback rating, which is through the roof, has not been sacked in the second half the last 3 games.
Well, and that explains why he's 4-1 as the starter for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, these games come down to the second half, particularly in the fourth quarter, and he's found a way to play well in those games, and that's why they've won.
Second down and 10. Out of the backfield, it's Julius Jones, and Jones could not make the reception. There was nothing out there anyway, and it's 3rd and 10.
Tell you, I know one of the things that Bill Parcells has continually said here over the last several weeks is that he won't know exactly what he has in Tony Romo until he's faced with a little adversity. Now, what he had in mind when he said that was when a game ends and Romo hasn't played well and maybe they've lost, and then he has to go face his teammates and go through an entire week of practice getting ready for the next game. However, it can be applied to what's happening right now, because so far, even though the Cowboys with a 3-point lead, Tony Romo is experiencing a little more adversity than what he has had to face in his other 5 starts.
Right now, this officiating crew, as Dallas will spend a timeout, the officiating crew is calling that a backward pass. And instead of 3rd and 10, and Bill Parcells wants the explanation.
Dallas is challenging the ruling on the field of a backward pass.
So as it stands right now, it's a loss of 5 yards on a backward pass to Julius Jones.
Yeah, and from my vantage point, Joe, I did not think that it was a forward pass.
Take another look. That, for the moment, is ruled a backward pass. We'll get the call from Walt Coleman when we come back. The challenge by Bill Parcells as he sends Walt Coleman under the hood, and we take another look at this throw from Romo.
I'm not so sure why it's taken so long for Walt Coleman to make a decision here. You know, where Romo throws it, if there's any question whatsoever, then it's to be ruled a forward pass. You see where he let it go. He lets it go on this line here. And
After reviewing the play, quarterback's arm was at the 42 and a half. The ball's touched at the 42. It's a forward pass, incomplete. The 3rd and 10 at the 50-yard line. Dallas is not charged with a timeout.
It's a difference of 5 yards, and it's the rule is the point where it is released and then the point where it is first touched. And as you heard the explanation from Walt Coleman, a half-yard difference forward, and it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and 5 yards makes a big difference. I mean, you look at Dallas coming into this season, 2nd in the National Football League, converting on 3rd down. And then today, they're converting 60% of their 3rd down, so they do very well, even on 3rd and long situations. But a big difference between trying to convert from 3rd and 15 as opposed to 3rd and 10.
Third down and 10. Romo in trouble. McQuarters can't bring him down, and Romo throws it away. And so a terrific job by this Giants defense. After the 16-yard punt by Feagles, the Giants defense gets a 3-and-out.
Yeah, Tony Romo showing a lot of composure there on this play. He lets the defense declare exactly what it is that he thinks they're going to do, and then he changes the play. Now you've got R.W. McQuarters again with a missed tackle.
The incomplete pass, and now McGuire, who tips the nose of the football down and then punts it into the end zone. The Giants will take over at their own 20. Second possession of this second half, and Shockey's all fired up. 10-7 Dallas. Jeremy Shockey doing a lot of the talking in that huddle as the Giants take over at their own 20. Romo has started this second half 0 for 3. And now Manning in trouble. Penalty flag comes flying from the secondary as Manning gets back to the line of scrimmage. Early indication is it's against Dallas.
Illegal contact, 56, defense. 5 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Yeah, and I think that was Brady James against Jeremy Shockey. Here's Shockey, and then Brady James is a linebacker here. And then there's the contact that was made well after the 5-yard period. A good thing, too, because Eli had gotten tackled back there before he picked up any yardage.
And now on first down, it's Tiki Barber. Made the most on that run as he gets it out to the 32-yard line, picked up 7. Terrence Newman on the tackle for Dallas. And there is Mike Zimmer, who is the defensive coordinator and the leader of this 4th-ranked defense.
Yeah, in fact, both these coordinators for the Dallas Cowboys, whether it's Mike Zimmer or Tony Sperano, you know, probably two of the more anonymous coordinators in the National Football League, and primarily because Bill Parcells doesn't allow his assistant coaches to talk to the media. But Mike Zimmer has done a terrific job this year coordinating this defense.
Blitz from the Cowboys, and from the backside it's DeMarcus Ware, who came on the blitz. And a loss of 2 on that carry.
And this is the problem when you run away from DeMarcus Ware. He has the speed in order to run down running backs. Generally, if you're running away from a guy, you don't have to necessarily put a blocker on them. You can use that blocker on some other defender. But with the speed of DeMarcus Ware, you've got to get someone on him, because as we just saw, he's able to get back to the front side of plays and make the tackle.
Bill Parcells told us everybody wants to turn DeMarcus Ware into a sack master. I'm trying to turn him into a linebacker. We made that last play. 3rd down and 5, and Sonoris Moss making a move and making an impact with a first down. Active for only the 2nd game this season, came in with 1 catch, and he's the 2nd-round pick out of Miami.
And the one game that he played in was back in week 2 against the Philadelphia Eagles. He had the quad injury. He doesn't know all of the offense because he's had so little time to work. But this is the explosiveness that they hoped he would be able to provide when they drafted him. Jeremy Shockey out there blocking on Roy Williams. Good execution on the play.
Maybe he can be a 3rd down answer to the questions that have popped up for the Giants as Barber carries it, no gain. Aiken Adell on the stop. But it has been a struggle for the Giants on 3rd down after the loss of Amani Toomer. Amani Toomer was the first guy that Bill Parcells mentioned as far as what's different about this Giants team now. And he is a guy that, since he has left, the Giants have gone 0-3 without him. And he was tied with Tiki Barber for the team lead in receptions when he got hurt. Dependable receiver. Plexico Burress, his 2nd catch, and he falls forward for a first down.
You know, Plexico Burress, he's had to answer to a lot of people here this week. But this is a nice play on his part. He catches a pretty easy ball, but rather than run out of bounds, he lowers his head, he runs over Anthony Henry, and he's able to pick up the first down. It would have been easy for him to go out of bounds there, but he recognized that he needed a few more yards in order to get the first down, and he went and got it. And I still think that Plexico Burress, I mean, what a talent he is. And I don't know that anybody really understands him that well, but when he turns it on, he's one of the best.
On first down, Eli Manning fires, and the pass incomplete. Roy Williams coming over to make a play on Shockey, no flag.
And I think I'm going to have to agree with Shockey on this one. It looked like Roy Williams got there before the ball did. And you're going to see it for yourself. Jeremy Shockey running a corner route, and in comes Roy Williams with the contact made prior to the ball arriving.
Crowd sees the replay. They don't like it. It was awfully close either way. Shockey wanted the flag, didn't get it. It's 2nd down and 10.
I'll tell you one thing about it, though. The Giants have shown that they're trying everything that they can do to get the ball into his hands.
Manning fires high, caught by Burris because he had to stretch for that pass. Not able to do much with it after he hauled it in, a gain of only 4.
You know, and speaking of Shockey, you were talking about Amani Toomer and him no longer being on the team. Jeremy Shockey, according to Eli Manning, he's the guy now that he really has the trust and confidence in and feels good about going to with the football. And I think that as a quarterback, you've got to have guys that are out there that you know are going to make plays for you, or at least attempt to make plays, and that's what Amani Toomer always provided.
Here's another situation, 3rd down and 6. Toomer led this Giants team 3rd down receptions for 1st downs when he got injured. And the pass is caught by Carter. And that was a good throw and a better catch. 1st down. And now a penalty flag comes in at the end of the play. Whitfield was getting into it with Hatcher. And when those two started to rough it up, a flag came down.
Well, we got to play here first. Take a look at Eli Manning on the left side of your screen, and when he turns this ball loose relative to when Carter's coming out, ball's out of his hands before Carter comes out of his break. That's the kind of timing that Eli Manning has not had in recent games, but a well-thrown ball and catch.
After the play was over, personal foul, 70 offense, butting a defensive player in the head. We'll penalize a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play, and it'll be 1st and 10.
That's the big part of it. First of all, it's another undisciplined action by the New York Giants, and this time it's the 15-year pro Bob Whitfield who did exactly what Walt Coleman said he did. But because the Giants had what they called achieve the line to gain, picked up the 1st down, they get the penalty, but they still keep the 1st down. So that was a 3rd down conversion for Eli Manning.
Good news is they get the 1st down, but just not a very smart play by Bob Whitfield. He knows better.
Brings the ball back to the Dallas 49, and Tiki Barber lost the ball. It's sitting on the ground, and we'll see who comes away with it. It's Finn. Jim Finn will tap the line judge on the back and say, hey, I've got the ball.
Well, there's no way then they can give it to Dallas if Finn's coming out of the pile with the ball in his hands. I mean, it was a scrum at the bottom. And I don't know how they could do anything but give it back to the Giants. The ball clearly out before Tiki Barber goes to the ground. It looked like the Cowboys should have very easily have been able to recover that ball. But somehow Jim Finn got in there and he yanked it out of someone's hand.
And it does stay with the Giants.
I mean, here's Jim Finn way back here. Somehow he's able to get in there. He's able to get in there and yank it out. A good play and good hustle by Jim Finn. You don't want to know what happens at the bottom of one of those piles.
2nd down and 8 now for the Giants.
Someone's speaking in tenor.
Manning with time. Fires to a wide open Shockey, and he's got a 1st down at the Dallas 30. We heard about the broken thumb, and Barber, who fumbled it, trotted off the field holding that right thumb after putting it on the turf.
And here's Jeremy Shockey, and you know, we say it all the time, this team feeds off this guy's emotion, his energy. He's a tough guy. He rallies the team, and that's what he's doing tonight. So Eli Manning wanting to go to the guy who he trusts, and he's been able to do that. And Jeremy Shockey, other than the one drop that he had early in the game, is really playing well.
That was good for 17 yards. Manning with more time hits Brandon Jacobs underneath. And the big running back is brought down about half a yard shy of a 1st down.
So Eli Manning, he is really playing well tonight. Even on that play, just showing a lot of pocket presence. The guy wasn't open where he initially wanted to go with the ball. He comes back to his 3rd guy and makes a good play. He's made good decisions tonight, and for the most part, he's made good throws. You know, this team obviously is capable of getting on a run. They did it earlier in the season with a 5-game winning streak, but it's going to take Eli Manning playing like he is right now to get back winning again.
Second down and less than a yard, and an easy pickup for Brandon Jacobs. First down Giants as this drive continues. A gain of 5 for Brandon Jacobs. And now he gets up limping a bit and asks to come out of the lineup. Tiki Barber back in.
This offensive line probably does not get as much recognition as what they deserve all season long. This offensive line has really done a good job. They've run the ball against virtually everybody that they've played. They're not an overly physical offensive line, but they do generally get a hat on a hat and provide some lanes for their runners.
Manning out of the shotgun toward the sideline with Shockey. What a game Jeremy Shockey is putting together.
And what I like, Joe, I mean, just the emotion that he shows. You know, they say that Eli Manning doesn't show enough. Well, Jeremy Shockey certainly makes up for it. The Cowboys bring the blitz here, and the offensive line does a pretty good job there of picking it up. Off the edge, Al Singleton gets there late. But Eli Manning recognizes it, gets the ball out to Shockey in the flat, and there's no way Shockey's looking to run out of bounds after the catch.
First and goal from the 4. Play clock at 4. Lofting up for Burris. A lot of contact, no flag. Aaron Glenn on the coverage for Dallas. Trying to take advantage of the size difference. 6'5" Burris. Aaron Glenn 5'9".
Yeah, and that's a good call in trying to take advantage of that size advantage that you talk about. I think it was a good no call. There was contact made, but Burris wasn't able to get outside leverage on Aaron Glenn. Had he have been able to, then maybe where the ball was thrown, he might have been able to make a play on it.
This is the longest drive of the season put together by this Giants offense. 16th play. How will it end? Barber is swallowed up by Aiken Adele, and it's 3rd and goal.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems in a game like this. When you get down there in the red zone, you want to be able to come away with touchdowns. And you know, right now at 3rd and goal, it's going to be hard. It's just very difficult when you're not running the football effectively. Now they threw it on 1st down. They don't get anything out of their 2nd down play, but throwing the ball down here on the 5-yard line, 3rd and goal, the windows become smaller, and Eli needs to be careful.
They want to come away with a touchdown, but they definitely want points. They can't have a Manning mistake, and that one is broken up by Henry. Jeremy Shockey, the intended receiver, and Anthony Henry came in, made the play. It's 4th down.
Yeah, Anthony Henry made a good play, but watch when Jeremy Shockey comes off where the ball's thrown. If it's thrown on his right hip on this side here, he's got a chance because then the ball's shading away from where Anthony Henry had leverage. But the ball got away from Eli Manning in a relatively easy knockdown ball for Anthony Henry.
23-yard try by Feely. Good snap, good hold, tie game. So the Giants put together their longest drive of the season play-wise, come up with 3 and tie the Cowboys 10-10. How about an 18-play drive covering 75 yards? It ends with a Feely field goal, 10-10 score. And on the return, it's Miles Austin, the rookie. Bill Parcells trusting a rookie to carry it back. He's taken over as the kick returner. Good for 27. Jeremy Shockey, a big part of the offense today. He'll take the ball down the field to tie it.
Brunt.
Kind of a mystery talked a lot about at the beginning of the season, Troy. Who exactly is calling the plays for Dallas?
Well, and it's really by committee. Tony Sperano right here, he is the offensive coordinator, and Chris Palmer in the left-hand corner, he's up in the booth, had been the offensive coordinator at some various stops, but collectively, those two guys and Bill Parcells make the calls.
On 1st down, it's Julius Jones. Brought down by Will Demps, a gain of 3. Here's the day for Tony Romo. Started off slowly. 2 first-half interceptions, one by Kiwanuka, this one by Demps. Also lost the ball on a fumble and a hit by Kiwanuka. And Bill Parcells now trying to build him up. For the most part, we've seen Parcells trying to keep his head from inflating week after week as the legend of Romo grows exponentially. 2nd and 7. Romo steps up and throws. Pass complete. Terrell Owens is going to take a seat after a gain of 15 yards.
Well, the offensive line doing a good job of protection for Tony Romo, and they like to go to that empty set about 6 to 7 times a game and spread out the weapons that they've got, and they've got some. I mean, obviously with Terrell Owens and then Terry Glenn, and you combine those 2 guys with Jason Witten. Of course, they don't throw that many times to the running backs. Julius Jones coming into this ball game with only 6 receptions, but the empty set has been good for Dallas.
On first down, play action from Romo, a screen for Jones, blocking in front of him, and Julius Jones has a first down for Dallas. An 11-yard catch and run by the feature back for the Cowboys.
I was just talking about how Julius Jones has only had 6 receptions coming into this ball game, and then he gets the screen pass here, and Andre Girard is out there, and Kyle Kozar doing a pretty good job of leading the way. Anytime you get anytime you start getting some pressure from the defense, you go to the screen play to try to neutralize it.
And now Jones gets it on the ground, and he is hit and dropped by Brandon Short after a gain of 4. Tomorrow night, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, get ready for the 2006 Billboard Music Awards with performances from some of the biggest music stars in the world. It's live from Las Vegas tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, only on Fox. Second down and 6 for Dallas. Romo rolls to his right, fires, completes to Creighton, who's down inside the 20. They'll mark him at the 19-yard line, and Romo has led the Cowboys right back down the field in a blink.
Well, right now, when the Cowboys spread out this Giants defense, they're creating some real big holes in the secondary and some throwing lanes for Tony Romo. That time they go 3 wide set. Wasn't real complicated as far as what they did on the patterns, but Tony Romo getting some clean looks now.
Both Barber and Jones in the backfield behind Romo. First down. And a handoff to Barber. Hit and dropped by Kiwanuka as we're under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. That one good for 3 yards.
We've talked a little bit about Marion Barber. I thought it was interesting when we visited with Antonio Pierce, the middle linebacker for the New York Giants, and asking him which running back concerns you the most, Marion Barber or Julius Jones, and he, along with everyone else that we talked to, said Marion Barber. Julius Jones obviously has the big play home run threat, but Marion Barber is the guy who shows up each and every week making big plays.
2nd and 7. Romo for Glenn, broken up and nearly picked off by Madison.
It was the interception back in the first meeting between these 2 teams that Sam Madison had against Drew Bledsoe that even allowed Tony Romo to become the Cowboys starter. And here down on the goal line, a really good play by Sam Madison. Initially, it looked like when he knocked it up in the air, he was going to be able to find it and make the interception. But a good veteran play for Sam Madison. That hamstring, they really haven't tested him today, but it seems to be holding up just fine.
3rd and 7. Romo almost looked like he wasn't ready for the snap, and Owens wasn't ready for the pass. Another drop by Terrell Owens. He came into this day with 10 drops on the year. That is the most in the NFL.
Well, and Tony Romo, I mean, he puts it on him, and if Terrell Owens catches this ball, does R.W. McQuarters even make the tackle? But if he does, he still is able to pick up the first down. That's the difference between getting touchdowns and having to settle for field goal attempts.
35-yard try. Gramatica is good. Martin Gramatica on his first day as a Cowboy, 2 for 3. He missed from 44 and has rallied, hitting from 41 and now 35. And Dallas is back on top by 3. Put it down, and Martin Gramatica just sneaked it inside the left upright. Gramatica, a guy from Argentina, played with the Tampa Bay Bucks, but realized that in his career he's been very good in December and January. 49 of 59 and 11 for 12 in his career in the postseason. On a chilly, not cold day here at the Meadowlands, he's 2 for 3, and he's given Dallas a 13-10 lead. We are at the end of the third quarter here at Giant Stadium. Cowboys back on top, 13-10. The NFL on Fox will continue after this from your local Fox station. On to the fourth quarter in this battle for the top spot in the NFC East. We talked point differential in the fourth quarter. First 8 games, the Giants the best in the NFL. The last 3 games, they have not scored a point in the fourth quarter. Manning over the middle. His receiver Barber fell down, and Brady James almost came away with an interception.
I tell you, they were fortunate there, the New York Giants were, because yeah, they give the ball right back to Dallas down here in this position. You know, he got some pressure in his face. Looked like Aikman was the guy who was getting pressure on Eli Manning, but boy, that's a tough one when you start throwing the ball over the middle of the field like that on checkdowns. You can't often see a lot of the coverage that's in front of him.
On 2nd and 10, a toss to Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber with a big run out across the 40. Knocked down at the 44, a 16-yard run.
Yeah, one of the few times that Tiki Barber's been able to get loose. He makes a nice cut right there, and then is just able to get to the outside with a quickness. Brady James unable to get there. Keith Davis with a chance to maybe make a play. And then Terrence Newman comes in and makes the tackle. I'll tell you, Terrence Newman, for a cover corner, does a good job in the open field tackling.
Barber knocking on the door of 10,000 rushing yards for his career. He came in needing 133. Penalty flag comes in from the secondary. Barber has 77 before that carry of 4 yards. We'll see if the play stands. Penalties have hurt these Giants all afternoon and evening. And a rather long discussion with this officiating crew. Flag came into the very end of the play out of the secondary.
And it was thrown right at the feet of Plexico Burris. I don't know exactly what it is they're discussing or what the penalty ultimately is going to be, but that's where the flag was thrown.
Personal foul. Crackback. 85. Offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Still first down.
That's David Tyree and another personal foul against the Giants.
Right. I don't get that one. I mean, that is not a crackback.
And that marches the ball back to the 32-yard line. Brandon Jacobs is the tailback, and that puts the Giants in a hole. I don't understand that call.
I don't either, and somebody's going to have to explain that one to Tom Coughlin at the end of this game.
1st and 22 now for Eli Manning. Over the middle, it's Shockey. Aiken Adele brings him down. Shockey is good for 6. That is another big call against the Giants, and there have been a few that have been warranted. That one makes you scratch your head.
Yeah, that's the shame of it too, because it wasn't something that should have been called, and the Giants were then on a roll. Here he is right down here. He just comes in. You see that on virtually every play. He got his head in front. He was not engaged with another offensive player, which you then cannot go low on a player, but everything there seemed to be above board.
2nd down and 16. A screen for Jacobs, trying to keep his feet. Now gets ahead of steam. Brandon Jacobs down inside the 20.
Well, here's the play. The defense was yelling screen, screen as soon as the ball was in Eli's hands, so they were ready for it. And then it was a hard throw. He slips, and yet he's still able to get going north and south. That shows you right there the type of speed that Brandon Jacobs has.
That is 6'4", 264 pounds, running for 43. And you're right, I was as impressed with the catch on that rocket that Eli Manning delivered high. That was a good catch.
Everything about it told me that the play was never going to get going, and yet he made a heck of a play out of it.
They throw the flag. It looked like the play clock had expired. They let the play go, however, and Tiki Barber picks up 4, and this will be a motion call.
Illegal shift. Offense. 2 men moving and not resetting. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So the penalties keep piling up for Tom Coughlin's Giants.
And it's just a killer for offensive football when you're constantly having to overcome long down situations, and especially when you get down here in a position, as you see the Giants there with 8 penalties for 91 yards. But on this possession, obviously a field goal ties the game. But the Giants really have to find a way to get a touchdown and recapture the lead in this game. They've had to settle for far too many field goals.
Eli Manning fires for Tiki Barber. Nice catch. Ridden out by Adele, and a gain of 9. So a 1st and 15, 9-yard completion to Tiki Barber.
Yeah, and this time, you know, Eli Manning, we talk about sometimes how he's inaccurate. He puts this ball right on the money, and the difference in that throw as opposed to one behind him, it allows him then to try to get the extra yards, get around the corner. Good throw and good ball placement by Eli Manning. He's been sharp tonight.
2nd down and 6. Tiki Barber. Good blocking in front of him. He is down inside the 10. It depends on the spot. And Barber a little slow getting up.
And you talk about this offensive line. Dave Dill, who's played right tackle in this league, right guard, and now this year and last year left guard. Watch how he blocks first level, gets up to the 2nd level there at the linebacker spot, and is able to allow Tiki Barber some running lane.
And they gave Barber, Troy, enough for a 1st down. It's 1st and goal.
I talked before how this isn't an overpowering offensive line, but they do have some athleticism, especially David Dill, in being able to get up and make some of those blocks at the linebacker level.
Jacobs tries the right side. Boy, he just doesn't go down. To the 4-yard line at 2nd and goal.
I tell you, I mean, when you count where contact was made, and then when he finally goes to the ground, I really like this guy. I mean, last year he was just a short yardage goal line back. They didn't play him in many other situations because everybody knew when he got in the game they were never going to throw the ball, because he will admit he did not understand protections, didn't really understand a lot about the game last year. But this year, after working hard all offseason, he has really contributed positively and probably should get more carries than what he currently gets.
He's out. Tiki Barber is in. 2nd and goal. Manning keeps it, in trouble, and throws it away. Down toward the feet of Tiki Barber. There was nothing there, and Eli Manning was in a ton of trouble.
You know, it's always easy to second guess and question, you know, why teams do things, but they've struggled when they've gotten down here on a previous possession. They threw it on 1st down, ran it on 2nd, didn't get anything out of it. Incompletion on 3rd, settled for the field goal. Here, they hand the ball to Brandon Jacobs. He gets good positive yardage, and then they take him out of the game, and then they throw the ball. And now you're looking again at 3rd and goal from about the 4-yard line, and it's just tough having to throw the ball from this down and distance.
Manning had his hand on the back of Shockey in the huddle. Will he look his direction? Instead, he nearly throws an interception to Glenn. Aaron Glenn stepped in front, and he had the shot at it. Plexico Burris, the intended receiver, and Manning is lucky that wasn't picked off.
Yeah, that's a hard throw to make down here because you got to turn it loose so quick. But Aaron Glenn jumps inside immediately. He anticipated. My guess is that there's something that he saw from Plexico Burris on film that he knew by the way he came off the ball that he was going to run the slant, because Aaron Glenn got a great jump on that ball.
22-yarder from Feely. Drills it, and it's 13-13. So the Giants have tied it. Eli Manning's frustrated as they had a chance to take the lead. Tied at 13. Dallas, New York. Beautiful night at the Meadowlands. Good game. Tie game. 13-13, and Feely will pick it off. Miles Austin from about the 6. Gets to the edge, is forced out of bounds by Walker. 28-yard return by Austin. Now the Cowboys and Romo have it. Tie game.
Listening to me.
Have you tried not saying?
Our day is in some ways just beginning on Fox, because right after football it's the OT presented by Lowe's, and then in what everybody should be watching, the All-State BCS selection show, as you'll find out all of the bowl matchups, and obviously the big one, who will play Ohio State. Romo fires, good catch by Terrell Owens. A first down at the 45-yard line. Pressure by Umanura, didn't get there in time, and Romo gets up a little banged up.
Yeah, Romo saying speak for yourself on whether he got there in time, and you're going to see him as he turns around. Umanura maintaining his outside leverage, and then Kiwanuka is the guy who just laid Romo out.
Wow.
Good job by Romo getting the completion.
11 yards to Terrell Owens. Giants bring a blitz. Julius Jones gets swallowed up. Antonio Pierce, the first one there, a loss of 3 on the play.
A really good job there by Matthias Kiwanuka. He's the guy who got pressure that kept Julius Jones from really being able to get to the outside. At that point, he had to come underneath Kiwanuka. And then, as you said, Joe, Pierce and the rest of them were there to make the play.
Second down and 13.
You know, with the field position that Dallas got on this possession, the Giants are going to need their defense once again to step up. They've done a pretty good job of that throughout the night.
On second down, play action. Romo forced to run, and he goes head first. About 3 yards shy of a first down. A gain of 10. Emmons on the stop. And that is the longest run of the season by Tony Romo, who is making his 6th start. 3rd and 3.
Well, it's been a little more challenging tonight for Tony Romo than what it has been in previous games, but he's continuing to battle, and he's still making the plays that he needs to make in order to give his team an opportunity.
Barber is lined up wide to the left, the top of your screen. On third down, over the middle, Terrell Owens. Will Demps can't bring him down. Gets a block. Owens forced out. And a big conversion on third down.
Well, this is just too easy for the Dallas Cowboys. You're going to see Terrell Owens in the slot position, and where the defender is, Will Demps. I mean, he's not even anywhere close to him. All Terrell Owens has to do is run past where the markers are, turn around, and catch the ball, and that's exactly what he did. And then in addition to that, Will Demps, which has been his problem really all season long, he's not able to make the tackle.
Good block by Marion Barber to get a few extra yards. An 11-yard completion on 3rd and 3. First down, Dallas. Another blitz from the Giants. Another throw to Terrell Owens, and this time Madison goes low. Takes the legs out from under Terrell Owens, a gain of 6.
You know, and the problem for a defense with that play, when they throw the quick ball out to Terrell Owens, is if you start then crowding him so that they can't make that throw, well, then they want to take the deep shot long over the top of him, because Terrell Owens, even though he has great size, he also has great speed. And so there's always that balance of not wanting him to run by you, but then also not giving up the quick pass and trying to then bring down a big wide receiver.
Second down and 4. Blitz from the Giants. Cowboys pick it up. Witten overthrown. I would say that the Cowboys right now are on the very outer edge of field goal range for Martin Gramatica. But again, who knows what the range is for a guy who hasn't kicked much in the last 2 years.
Well, you're right, and I don't know exactly what the wind's like down there now. It was blowing earlier in the game. But the wind going in that direction is always in your face. Even though the flags don't show it, it's a swirling wind. And typically the wind would be in the direction that the offense is now going.
It would be a 49-yard try from here. It's 3rd and 4. Romo throws, and it's caught by Creighton. Jabril Wilson flashed in front, had visions of an interception and a touchdown, and instead it's Creighton behind him making the catch for the first down.
Every game there's a few plays that make the difference in whether or not you win or you lose. R.W. McQuarter stops for some reason. If he keeps running, he's probably able to make a play on Romo, and then Jabril Wilson has a chance here for the interception, and it goes right through his hands. So what should have been at least a 4th down, maybe interception for a touchdown, is neither.
Now it's Julius Jones straight ahead for 3. Kiwanuka on the stop. 5.5 to play in this game.
And you wonder why Tom Coughlin gets as animated as what he does sometimes over there on the sidelines. Why anybody would go into the coaching profession is beyond me. And then once you're in, as long as what he's been in, why you wouldn't get out, he's even more of a mystery.
Well, it pays pretty well. He's in the 3rd year of a 4-year, $12 million deal.
Well, I don't know if it pays that well.
2nd and 7. Speak for yourself. Julius Jones brought down by Pierce, a gain of 2. And now it's 3rd down again for the Cowboys. Martin Gramatica missed early, a 44-yard try at the end of the first possession of the game. Eli Manning hit Jeremy Shockey for a 17-yard touchdown. Kiwanuka with an interception, but then he put it on the ground. And the Dallas Cowboys recovered and then got their first touchdown. And there have been 3 personal fouls called against the New York Giants. We saw that one on Plexico Burress. Timeout Dallas. 3rd down for the Cowboys when we come back with 4.5 left.
Day is sponsored by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
The major players in this one: Coughlin, Parcells, Romo, and then Gramatica if the Cowboys do not convert on this 3rd and 5.
And they're going with the empty set again.
Throw to Glenn with blocking in front of him. Creighton with the big block. 1st down Dallas, and a hit on Glenn after he went out of bounds. They pick up the 1st down, and there will be yardage tacked on at the end.
After the player was out of bounds, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 33. Defense, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
That's Jason Bell, who's playing with a break in his arm, and that is the 4th personal foul against the Giants in this game.
Yeah, and that's just this game. They had him last week as well. You know, it's just helmet to helmet. You can do that on a runner, and it's not so much that that's the call. It's just that Terry Glenn was out of bounds before contact was made by Bell. You know, just not smart playing. Now, he had already picked up the 1st down, but then you get half the distance to the goal line.
1st and goal. Handoff to Barber. Barber has a touchdown in this game, 10 on the season rushing. And it's 2nd and goal. No gain on that carry by Marion Barber.
Well, the Giants had the Cowboys there on 3rd down with an opportunity to possibly hold them. They go empty set. They run the quick wide receivers flare pass to Glenn and pick up the 1st down. Now here, I mean, obviously the Giants are hoping that they can find a way to make a stop and hold Dallas to only 3 points.
2nd down and goal.
Empty set here again. I'd look for the quarterback draw with Romo.
And he pulls up. It's going to be a false start. He was going to fake the draw, pull up, and make a throw, but a false start.
False start. 81. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Terrell Owens guilty.
Well, I know we've kind of focused on some of the things that the Giants have done that have hurt the team, but the Cowboys, they've had their share of penalties that have set them back as well.
So that moves the ball back outside the 6, and it's 2nd and goal. Barber cuts it into the end zone. Touchdown. Second of the day, 6th in the last 3 games, and on the season on the ground 11 for the 2nd-year player out of Minnesota.
Yeah, he's just got good vision. You're going to see him. He's going to start here, and then he's going to cut back to his right. It's just a pretty good cutback, you know, with no contain. And Jabril Wilson coming in and trying to grab shoestrings, and again a missed tackle that cost him.
The extra point makes it 20-13 as Marion Barber pounds it into the end zone. The Cowboys on top in the NFC East, trying to stay there. Lead by 7. The Dallas Cowboys have been terrific in the red zone lately. Their last 11 trips, they have 9 touchdowns, 2 field goals. 2 for 3 today in the red zone and getting touchdowns. And here is Ward on the return. Out across the 35-yard line, and now the New York Giants will try to answer. So the Dallas Cowboys and Tony Romo, it hasn't been as easy today, but so far he has his team out in front by 7. The game is winding down, and now the focus goes back to Eli Manning.
Yes, it does. And when we talked to Eli Manning on Friday, he said we've always been so good in the 4th quarter, finding a way to win ball games, and over the last several weeks that's kind of been their undoing. Well, they get another opportunity here tonight in the 4th quarter to show that they're capable of coming back. Here it's going to be to try to tie the ball game.
On 1st down, the pass complete. Plexico Burris, they'll mark him down a yard and a half shy of a 1st down. All 3 timeouts are left for the New York Giants. Brady James on that last stop. It's 2nd down and a short 2. And the handoff trying to get the 1st down, and they do. Tiki Barber brought down by Roy Williams. We haven't said the name Roy Williams much today. Plexico Burris calling him a 250-pound ankle tackler.
Yeah, I would not agree with that. I think I've not seen Roy Williams as an ankle tackler, that's for sure.
Manning underneath. Tiki Barber into Dallas territory to the 49-yard line. A gain of only 2. Kevin Burnett on the tackle for Dallas.
And because the Giants do have the 3 timeouts and obviously the 2-minute warning, they really don't have to get in any kind of hurry right now. They're being very methodical in the way they're running this.
2nd and 8. Eli Manning throws on the run and completes it to Burris. And Plexico has enough for a 1st down. I'll say this, Eli Manning in this Giants offense at times this season has been better in the no-huddle approach.
I think so, yeah, because you just get out and play. It doesn't look like now they're going to get a snap off before the 2-minute warning. But I do think that that's why Eli Manning is very effective in the 2-minute drill, is because he's just able to just throw the ball and play, which is what he likes.
2-minute warning at Giants Stadium. First down Giants when we come back.
Like listening to me.
Have you tried not saying like every other word?
What?
Don't forget, right after football, here on Fox, the OT presented by Lowe's. We'll look back at this day across the NFL, give you scores and highlights, and then we're going to start at 10 minutes early at 7:50 Eastern, the All-State BCS Selection Show. We will play Ohio State and on down the line in the upcoming Bowl Series. Here we go on first down for the Giants, down by 7. Tiki Barber out of the backfield makes a move. Still on his feet. Down inside the 15-yard line. They'll mark him at the 13.
A heck of a job there by Eli Manning, knowing what he had down the field and where he needed to go with the ball. They helped out on the outside with the tackles for protection. They got they got Tiki Barber then, the ball in his hands, and then just a great individual effort by Tiki Barber. When he makes Brady James miss there, and then he's able to get just enough in order to pick up a lot of yards.
28 to be exact. And the Giants take a timeout.
You know, Tiki Barber helps out there with Kareem McKenzie and then is able to leak out. Because they have so much time on the clock and with their timeouts, they weren't in a position to where they had to force the ball down the field. And so Eli Manning has been able to be very patient on this possession. And anytime you can get the ball into the hands of Tiki Barber with his running skills, it's a good thing. And on that play, he showed why.
So they take a timeout, let Tiki Barber catch his breath. On the other side, 1:42 remaining. Plenty of time with 2 timeouts on the clock. They may be splitting hairs, but if you're the Giants, they elected to take the timeout, stop the clock. And if you go in and score here, you've left the Dallas Cowboys a lot of time to try to have a chance and win it. 1:42 left from the 13. First down. Manning. Barber again out of the backfield down to the 5.
A really headsy play there. Now they don't use the timeout, but with 1.5 minutes to go, you've got your full arsenal. They can run the ball here with still 2 timeouts left. They don't necessarily have to throw it.
Manning throws. Burris. Touchdown.
Great confidence shown by Eli Manning a week ago with the play that Plexico Burris failed to make. Now with the game on the line, Eli Manning still showing confidence in Plexico Burris, trusted him to throw the ball into coverage, good coverage by Anthony Henry, trusting that Plexico Burris would make the play, and he did.
This is to tie it. It's 20-20. And with 1:06 remaining, Eli Manning under fire the last 3 weeks responds. Takes his team down the field into the end zone with Burris. He's got his head coach applauding. Seconds and Eli Manning takes his team down the field and into the end zone to tie it at 20.
Well, Plexico Burris, again, his size, but Anthony Henry has good size as well. A good throw there by Eli Manning, but that was Plexico Burris just coming back and making a play. I tell you, I just think it shows a lot that Eli Manning trusts Plexico Burris, and then for Plexico to come up and make a play for his quarterback.
Feely kicks it away. Miles Austin on the return from outside the 10. Gets away from Ward and crosses the 30. Good field position for the Cowboys with 1 minute left and 2 timeouts. Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Watch the FBI's top negotiators work it on and off the streets. Standoff is all new this Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised.
And I'll tell you, Joe, I mean, the kickoff coverage team for the New York Giants has been poor virtually the entire game. I mean, over and over and over, we see after these kickoffs, the Cowboys starting with the ball on the 30-yard line or better. I mean, with a minute to go, the Cowboys still have 2 timeouts themselves. And with good field position, they don't have to go too far in order to get themselves in a position to try to come away with a field goal and win this game.
That's why I really didn't understand that first timeout that the Giants took to stop the clock. They've given Dallas plenty of time to do something about this tie game. Romo buys time. Down the middle. Witten with a catch inside the 30. And on one play, Tony Romo puts the Cowboys into field goal position. 44-yard completion to Jason Witten, his tight end.
You know, O.C. Umenyiora, he came underneath, and that's why Romo was able to get the edge. But a perfect throw. I mean, you got Antonio Pierce and Will Demps in coverage. And Tony Romo just lays it perfectly into the hands of Jason Witten.
With 20 seconds to go, it's Barber. Demps with the tackle. And now a timeout is taken by Dallas. We welcome in a new audience. The New York Giants just went down and tied this game at 20, but now Tony Romo, after a 44-yard completion to Jason Witten on the first play from scrimmage, has put Dallas into field goal range. Now 16 seconds left on the clock. 1 timeout for Dallas. And here's the big play to Witten from Tony Romo.
Well, you saw Umenyiora, he went underneath, and that's why Romo had so much room and time. And Antonio Pierce was the guy locked up on him. Will Demps tries to get back into the fold. He's unable to. But again, for a quarterback moving to his left and then putting it on the money. And Tom Coughlin can't believe it. After your quarterback has driven the team down to tie the ball game up, and in one play, the Cowboys are in field goal range.
And who is on the sideline loosening up with that heart-pounding Martin Gramatica in his first week as a Dallas Cowboy after the Cowboys cut their ties with Mike Vanderjagt. 2nd down and 9. And that'll cost Dallas 5 yards. Flozell Adams.
Full start, 76, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Troy, that is a big 5-yard penalty.
Well, it sure is. I mean, that's costly because that moves them now into where it's somewhat questionable for Martin Gramatica. You know, and because of the time on the clock, 16 seconds, Dallas has 1 timeout left. But this is definitely going to impact now what they can do on that play. I thought they were going to take a shot here to Terrell Owens, but now they may try something a little safer to get up some yards so they get Gramatica closer.
It would be a 48-yard field goal try from here. Fasano overthrown. And Romo is screaming, looking for a flag for a hold. Instead, it's 3rd and 14, and I think along the lines of what you're saying, forget the first down now and try to chew up some of this yardage and make it a little easier on Martin Gramatica.
Well, they got to make a decision right here. I agree. I don't think you can take a shot trying to pick up 15, 20 yards. I think right now you want to get about 5 yards, 7 yards, so that it makes it a little bit easier attempt for Martin Gramatica, and then use your last timeout to allow your field goal team to get on the field. They may even try a draw play here to Marion Barber.
They do hand it to Barber. He is brought down just about immediately, picks up 2, and Dallas will spend their final timeout. So now think about this for Gramatica. Didn't make a kick, attempt to kick last year in 2005. His last 2 seasons with the Buccaneers, 03-04, he was 4 of 13 within this range. And overall, a 60% field goal kicker, which led some to wonder why, after Vanderjagt was cut loose, that this would be the selection. He was with the Patriots during the summer. Belichick and Pioli liked him. Parcells and the Cowboys signed him. And now in his first week as a Cowboy, here he is with a chance to win the game with a 46-yard try and give the Cowboys a 2-game lead in the NFC East.
And keep in mind how much he narrowly made the last field goal he had inside the left upright.
And trying to ice Gramatica. The Giants take their second timeout.
You know, I've talked to a lot of kickers in this situation and asked them if the defense calls timeout when you're trying to kick a game-winning kick, does that affect you? And to a man, they all say it doesn't. Now, I didn't ask Martin Gramatica, but I've got to believe for a guy who hasn't had a lot of kicks over the last couple of years, he's thinking about it, isn't he?
Yeah, it's given him more time to pray.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell. I mean, I can't even imagine what could be going through a kicker's head in this situation. I do know that as a quarterback, when you get into this situation, you stay as far away from those guys as you can. And as you'll notice, nobody's talking to him now. Nobody's gone over to say anything to Gramatica.
I also remember that nobody celebrates a made kick like a Gramatica.
He may not be available next week. If he makes that, he might be in having knee surgery.
46-yard try. Good snap. Good hold. Martin Gramatica has put Dallas on top. 1 second remaining. The Cowboys make the switch, and Gramatica 3 of 4 on the day. A 23-20 lead for the Dallas Cowboys with 1 tick remaining. Again, 11 of 12 in his career in playoff football. And 49 of 59 during the months of December and January coming in. 3 out of 4 today. And there's the biggest swing of his leg in a long, long time.
Well, a good decision after at least today's game, going with the decision to sign Gramatica. A good snap, a good hold on that one, and Gramatica was right down the middle.
Terrell Owens, who questioned the release of Mike Vanderjagt, a friend of his on the Cowboy team, he celebrates, and again, nobody celebrates like a Gramatica.
Well, it's been a long time since he had a chance to celebrate, and Eli Manning, I tell you, he played a good game, and he did everything that he could do to put his team in a position to win. Now, the one thing about it, because Dallas didn't run the clock down to 5 seconds or less, they ran it down to 6 seconds. The most time that can come off the clock is 5 seconds on any one field goal try. That's why there's 1 second left with one last chance for the Giants.
Squib kick. Let the laterals begin. Gordon laterals to Brandon Jacobs. Jacobs is out of bounds, and this game belongs to the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys improve to 8-4 and have a commanding lead in the NFC East. They split the season series with the New York Giants, and the 2 young quarterbacks both playing well, and at crunch time, Tony Romo puts his team in a position to win it. Now 5-1 as a starter for Bill Parcells, who again gets to celebrate at Giants Stadium.
Back here in Giants Stadium, where the Dallas Cowboys take a 23-20 lead or win over the New York Giants for a 2-game lead in the NFC East. Here's our UPS leaderboard. Eli Manning, after struggles in recent weeks, comes out today and has a very good ball game. 270 yards passing. Marion Barber once again running very well for the Dallas Cowboys, and Terrell Owens with a big night himself. Our DLP Ultimate Picture Cam. Amazing overhead shots of tonight's game were provided by the Texas Instruments DLP Ultimate Picture Cam. DLP, it's amazing. It's the mirrors. J.C. Witten on that play to put the Cowboys in a position for the game-winning field goal by Martin Gramatica. And then there's the game winner to win the ball game. So a big win by the Dallas Cowboys here at Giants Stadium in a divisional ball game. Stay tuned. The OT starts now.
It's lucky week 13 for some.
Inside the 5. Dives to the end zone. Touchdown.
First rate.